So songwriting can be tough, but a lot of the times we make it a lot harder for ourselves than it needs to be. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use just your voice to get your songwriting's ideas down here in GarageBand iOS. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete. This is Studio Live today, where I help you create, record and release your best music. And one of the things that I like to do when I'm writing a new song is to actually just get the melody and the bass lines down just using my own voice. So before I grab a virtual keyboard or a guitar or a bass or even start singing, I just get the actual melodies down into GarageBand here on my iPhone. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I do that. Let's jump in now. So in the words of the late, great Gary Coleman, what you talking about, Pete? Well, what I'm talking about is recording our lead vocal and our bass line. But instead of having words, because I don't, and having a bass guitar, because I also don't right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually record these in using only my voice. So to do that, I'm going to need some voice tracks. So let's go add audio recorder, more sound, and we'll use our punchy presence. It's the one I use to record vocal tracks, and it doesn't have delay, it doesn't have a whole lot of effects on it. I find it the best. And what we're actually going to do is we've got our track here. Now, if you haven't seen this track, I had a video which I'll link up above and down below where I created this. This is a little demo idea of a riff that I had in my head, and I used GarageBand to record it, again just using the headset microphone on my headphones. And at the moment it sounds a bit like this. So a bit of a funky bluesy kind of beat, and what I've got is in my head also I have the lead vocal idea, but I don't have any words yet, so I just want to actually get this down. So first and foremost, let's hit record. Let's record my lead vocal idea for this arrangement. Okay, there we go. So yes, no words, but what we do have is I now have the idea down, and if we play this back now, it doesn't sound good, obviously, we wouldn't keep this in, but I've got my melody and my rhythm idea down, which means that I can now go away and start writing lyrics and start working out what I want to sing. So let's play this back. There you go. So there, I didn't have to use anything but my voice, because it is going to be my voice. But now, what about, let's add a bass line here. But again, I don't have a bass guitar, and I can't really play what's in my head on the keyboard, not easily on the touch keyboard. So why don't we use a second audio recorder track? Let's go back to punchy presence. And now I'm going to be the bass guitar. So we go back to our track view here. What I want with the bass guitar is I'm going to start, so it's going to have these drums here at the start for the first two bars, and then I'm going to sing my little idea for the bass riff. It's sort of a walking kind of a bass riff. Might be a double bass or on a bass guitar, but it's going to be like a sort of walking kind of rhythm and beat here. So anyway, you'll hear it when I do it, and then when I get to this end section, it's going to be just drums and bass for a little while here with maybe a guitar solo or something. So let's see how we go. We'll hit record and get into it. Okay, so if you've stayed with me and haven't turned off the video because a grown man was going do into an iPhone for the last 3 minutes, then you will have heard that what I've played there is my bass line. Now, I will struggle to play a bass line that complex, but I'll be able to learn it. But what I wouldn't really be able to do is write that bass line on a guitar while I was playing along. I might be able to, but this gives me the idea, and you might have noticed, or you might have heard that in the start section here, I did some more simple bass, and then I sort of did some more complicated. So there's a few different ideas in here, but I've got it captured down now. So let's just go to a part and see what it sounds like with my 4 instruments playing here. We'll call them instruments very loosely. So let's go to the start of the singing and play back now. So in that first verse section, I want a very simple bass. It's going do 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 do, and then in the second time around, I have the more complicated bass. But I like the idea I have for the little turnaround in between here. Also, the chorus and then the turnaround, I quite like. So let's just play that now. Oh, love the flourish. Yes, it's a little bit silly, but you know what? Creating music is supposed to be fun, and this is some of the most fun you're going to have. I promise you, if you give this a go, just leave all your inhibitions at the door and try doing this. It's super fun. Now, in this second time around, it gets a little bit more complex, so let's just play a little bit of this. And you'll notice I do have to breathe. So I missed the first note of a few of these, so you just have to use your imagination, because a bass guitar or a double bass doesn't have to breathe, but I do. So that's where the breathing comes in there. But what I've got now is a bit of an idea, and yeah, sorry, the last thing here is this little a bass solo. I haven't had a bass solo in a song ever, or for a long time, so I wanted to sort of put something with just the drums and bass after this sort of second bit, and then come into sort of like a big final chorus at the end. So that idea is sort of this. And if it's not a guy going do, and it's actually a bass, then you'll probably be able to hear that might sound kind of cool. You got the tom drums, you got it kicking in there, probably change up the rhythm using drummer here throughout this. So what I have now is, in the space of about 10 minutes, I've been able to get my entire idea down. Now, if I sat and fiddled around and tried to write words and then tried to sing this in sections, or with the bass, if I sat there and tried to record it on a real bass guitar or on a keyboard, it's going to take me a lot longer. And yes, I will go back and do this. This isn't the final version of the song, but we have this down here and now. I can keep this as my scratch, and then when I go to re-record, I can listen back and go, what was I thinking there? Oh yeah, I was thinking that bit, and then I can start recording and experimenting as I record my actual demo. So this is probably a pre-demo, or maybe I'll make up a new word. My pre-demo of my demo of this song is almost done, and I'm just going to work out sort of what the solo parts will do and any sort of other instrumentation that I may want, but it's going to be a pretty simple track. So there you go. I hope you found this interesting, insightful, or at least a little bit entertaining, and you got to have a bit of a chuckle at me going do for the last few minutes. And I do promise you though that it's a very cool way to capture your ideas. It is supposed to be fun creating music, and this is a pretty fun thing to do. You don't have to do it publicly. You can do it in the privacy of your own home, and no one ever needs to hear it. It can be your little secret. But anyway, I'm going to get back into this and keep fleshing out this song, and if you would like to hear more of this, I'll be working on this over the next few videos. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel here, and keep an eye out for those videos. I didn't mean for this to be a songwriting series, but it's pretty much turning out that way. This is going to turn into a song because I just like the groove of it, and I'm going to keep going with it. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. And there you go. So yes, you might feel a bit crazy and sound a bit crazy in your own head when you're doing this for the first few times, but I can tell you that there's no better way to get those ideas down, because you don't have to worry about playing it right. You just have to worry about the melodies that are in your head and the bass lines that are in your head, and getting those down into GarageBand. I hope you found this useful. If you've got any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can leave those down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for sticking around. We've got 2 more videos linked down below where you can check out some more content here on the channel. You can also subscribe to the channel by clicking on the Studio Live Today icon in the top right, or head on over to studiolivetoday.com for more audio goodness.